What if the next technological revolution is already happening right now? Not artificial intelligence, not robotics, not self driving cars, but a technology so powerful that governments around the world are investing billions of dollars into it before most people even understand what it is. A technology that some experts believe could completely transform medicine, cybersecurity, finance, manufacturing, defense, energy, and artificial intelligence itself. That technology is quantum computing. Now, you've probably heard the term before. Maybe you've seen it in the news. Maybe you've heard tech CEOs talk about it. But here's the truth. Most people have absolutely no idea what quantum computing actually is, and even fewer people understand why governments are racing to develop it. Today we're going to break down what quantum computing is, why countries are investing billions into it, how it could change the world, and whether it really could become the next major technological revolution. When most people think about technological competition, they think about companies. Apple versus Samsung, Google versus Microsoft, Tesla versus traditional automakers. But quantum computing is different. This isn't just a competition between companies. It's a competition between nations. The United States, China, the European Union, the United Kingdom, Japan, Canada, and many others. All are pouring enormous amounts of money into quantum research. Why? Because whoever leads quantum computing could gain enormous advantages across multiple industries. Think about previous technological revolutions. Countries that led the Industrial Revolution became economic powerhouses. Countries that led the Internet Revolution gained enormous influence. Countries that became leaders in semiconductors gained strategic importance. Quantum computing could become the next chapter, and governments know it. That's why billions of dollars are flowing into research programs, universities, laboratories, and private companies. The goal isn't just innovation. The goal is leadership. Now, before we go any further, let's simplify this. Traditional computers use bits. A bit can be either 0 or 1. Everything your computer does is built from those two possibilities. Quantum computers work differently. Instead of bits, they use qubits. A qubit can represent multiple possibilities simultaneously. That sounds strange, because it is. Quantum physics doesn't behave like everyday life. Particles can exist in multiple states. Information behaves differently, and scientists have learned how to use some of these principles for computing. The result is a machine capable of solving certain types of problems dramatically faster than traditional computers. Not every problem, but some extremely important ones. And that's where things get interesting. Imagine a machine capable of accelerating scientific discovery, a machine capable of finding new medicines faster, a machine capable of optimizing supply chains, a machine capable of improving materials used in aircraft, batteries, and energy systems. Now imagine the military applications. National security agencies pay very close attention to emerging technologies, and quantum computing is no exception. One of the biggest concerns is encryption. Right now, much of the internet relies on encryption systems that protect information. Banking, communications, government systems, personal data. Many experts believe future quantum computers could potentially break some of today's encryption methods. That possibility alone has governments investing heavily, because nobody wants to fall behind. If another country develops powerful quantum systems first, the balance of technological power could shift dramatically. That's why quantum isn't viewed as just another technology. It's viewed as a strategic asset. Let's talk about the real-world impact. Because this isn't just a science experiment. If quantum computing reaches its full potential, entire industries could change. Medicine. Researchers could simulate molecules with far greater precision. That could speed up drug discovery and treatment development. Energy. Scientists could develop better batteries, more efficient materials, improved renewable energy systems. Finance. Complex financial models that currently take enormous computing power could become easier to analyze. Manufacturing. New materials could be discovered. Production systems could become more efficient. Artificial intelligence. Some experts believe quantum computing could eventually help solve problems that traditional AI struggles with today. The possibilities are enormous. And that's exactly why governments continue investing. Not because quantum is guaranteed to succeed, but because the potential upside is too large to ignore. Now here's the part most headlines leave out. Quantum computing is incredibly difficult. Extremely difficult. Many of today's systems require temperatures colder than outer space. Engineers must control tiny particles with incredible precision. Even small disturbances can create errors. Building a practical quantum computer is one of the hardest engineering challenges humanity has ever attempted. That's why despite all the excitement, we're still early. Very early. Many experts compare today's quantum industry to the internet in its earliest stages. The potential is there, but the technology is still developing, and nobody knows exactly how long it will take before quantum becomes part of everyday life. This brings us to the big question. Could quantum computing become the next AI? Maybe. Maybe not. Artificial intelligence exploded because businesses immediately found practical uses. Quantum computing still has hurdles to overcome. But one thing is clear. The amount of investment flowing into this technology is growing. Governments are paying attention. Universities are paying attention. Large corporations are paying attention. And some of the smartest scientists in the world are dedicating their careers to solving these challenges. That doesn't guarantee success, but it does suggest something important. Quantum computing is no longer science fiction. It's becoming a serious global priority. Most people won't pay attention to quantum computing until it becomes mainstream, just like most people ignored artificial intelligence before ChatGPT. Just like most people ignored the internet before it transformed everyday life. And just like most people ignored smartphones before they became essential. The biggest technological shifts often happen quietly at first. Then, suddenly. They seem to happen all at once. Whether quantum computing becomes the next major revolution or not remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. Governments aren't investing billions for no reason. They see something worth pursuing. The only question is whether quantum computing will live up to the enormous expectations surrounding it. What do you think? Could quantum computing become the next AI? Or is it still decades away from changing the world? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy learning about future industries, emerging technologies, business, and wealth opportunities, subscribe to Riches Unleashed and join us in the next video.